The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to take a look at the DAX this morning because it completed that 135 pattern that we were chatting about yesterday. We will talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but I wanted to go through the European things first. And next thing we're going to do is to look at the FTSE, and we'll get that up here. You'll see these have a little downward sloping trend line anyway, if you want to think that. Yes, we have Mr. Norman Winsky as our guest today, and that will be at the half hour. That's always very interesting. He's always got some really good stuff. And hold on, let's move on over here. We covered the FTSE. Now I want to cover the German DAX. The German DAX, you're going to see the same pattern that we saw in the NASDAQ, folks. This is that 135 pattern where you have the lower tops coming in with really nice harmony. The beautiful part of this, if you'll measure the legs between BC and CD, you'll see that they're absolutely perfect. They couldn't be any better. So those are the kind that we're really watching to see if those are the ones that we have moving on. Now, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you just a little bit about the thing that we've been talking about for the last 6 or 7 days, and that's this similarity that we have in some of these markets to 1987, 1929. We talked about Peter Leidy's forecast. I happened to speak with Peter yesterday because they had this huge rally, and he called me about another matter, and I said, "Are you getting any flack?" He said, "Larry," he said, "you wouldn't believe he showed me a couple of the Twitter that he got back from people that just, the bad things that they said." And that leads to me to tell you a story, folks. Back in 1997, I was trading soybeans, and there was a report coming out in soybeans, and I had sold the beans within a nickel of the high with an ABCD pattern. I'll bring this up here and show it to you right here. And I want to tell you the story because it's an interesting one, and you might learn from it. There's the key time. That was back in it was February, I believe, 1987. And I remember because the new movie came out, Volcano, with Pierce Brosnan, and I was a big Pierce Brosnan fan because, he was a 007 and stuff, and he was a good actor. I never met the dude or anything, but I enjoyed his work and stuff. And so I was in the position. It was around 10:30 in the morning. The report came out, and the report was so bearish that no one could believe it. And beans went all the way down to almost limit down. Okay, and then they started to go back up, and I had my stop placed at 5 cents above the high, and they kept getting closer to break even, closer. Finally, they were down 29 cents at one time, and now they were only down 8 cents. And I said, I can't take it anymore. I shut the machine off, and I went to the movies, to the 11 o'clock movie, and I saw Pierce Brosnan in Volcano, and I was thinking of Volcano. I said, oh boy, this is going to be a really bad one. So anyway, I went to the movies, and they were still around 1:30, 2 o'clock. I got back, everything was closed, and beans went all the way back to be unchanged on the day, still missing my stops by 5 cents. And guess where they closed, folks? Flat out down the limit. After going limit down all the way up and then back down again. Folks, we could have seen the same thing yesterday in the S&P. Once those guys in the algorithmic group get hooked onto these numbers, man, they bite into that puppy. So you got to remember that. This is about numbers, and that's all it is. It's just about numbers. So anyway, I thought I'd share that report with you because it was very interesting to me. That happened during that time. I've never forgotten it. And every time I watch the movie, I watch it maybe once every year. I always remember that sequence of events that happened. I've seen it many times before, but that one was very, very memorable to me. Now let's talk a little bit about the crude oil complex, folks, because this is the one that is not responding to good news. because we got almost a war going on over there in Ukraine. And as you can see here, we had forecast a high here on February the 2nd or 3rd. And here we are out here on the 17th, 2 days past the full moon was yesterday. And you'll notice we did make a new high, but look how the market is not acting well with this. I mean, this is a market that could be making a major top in here. Maybe this last little burst up was just a fake out. Now, the important part of this is coming up next. And if we believe in the patterns, and, a lot of us do, so we want to watch to see, what's really happening with crude oil today. And so if we bring it up like this, you'll be able to see. I cover this in the videos that I do. But you can see the beautiful ABCD pattern down there. We had it just around $90 a barrel. The problem is, folks, this is a hourly chart, and we have not been able to get above that 382 line. You see that 91.48? We've not been able to get above that, and that itself is a bearish signal. It really is. So you've got to factor in that maybe if this thing breaks, you're going to see another ABCD down, and you're going to see another $5 break in oil down to 84 and change, down at that 1.618 expansion, and that happens to be the 78% level from the low on January the 24th. So that's what I'm trying to look at when I'm watching these patterns. I hope that helps, but that's what I'm watching. I have a question, but first I need a wet my whistle here because my mouth is getting a tad dry. Nothing like the taste of fresh tequila early in the morning. Boy, if I did that, this show would last about 3 minutes. Okay, let's move on to another one that I wanted to cover. And let's get it up here. And that is nothing, the old precious metal, boys and girls. We've got history being made, folks. The precious gold hit the price of $1,900 an ounce. So far, we haven't been able to get above it, but we're trading at $1,897. The number to watch, folks, is that 1.618 number. 1903 is what it be, because that is a move that's lasted over the past week, and we are coming in. We're 1 day past the full moon, so watch that number very closely. 1903. Here's another number. I mean, we're up pretty strongly, but you'd think gold would be up another $30 or $40 because of that, but so far that hasn't happened. So that's a little bit of some of the things that we're looking at here today. We had one other question from Jeff over in Philadelphia. That is, when you have an ABCD pattern, no matter what time frame you're on, do you take it? Yes, but basically, Jeff, what I watch is 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute. Now, if I have a 15-minute ABCD right near the opening, I'm going to take that trade. The reason why, the only things the ABCDs do is control your risk. So if it goes beyond D by, your stop amount, which is usually $300, it's a loss. You shake it off and go on to the next one. It's like if you ever did any cold calling. I never had to do any of that, but, where you pick up the smiling and dialing, would you like to buy this? Would you like to buy this? The person picks up the phone. He has to make 93 calls before he gets the last 7 that finally, give him the sale, and that's it. That's, if you remember the Wolf of Wall Street, that was one of the things that were in there. That was the smiling and dialing group. Hey, we're going to take a break here. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to chat with you just a minute about the AI, the Artificial Intelligence Neural Network program that I use. Mr. Z's asked me to drop the forecast in for today. I just did. As you can see, it was forecasting for a down move. Now, it doesn't measure volatility, folks, as far as the price that it's supposed to be at. It's related to time. In other words, the time of the high, the time of the low. The distance in between is related to price, and the AI doesn't do anything about that. It's all about time. So when the bottom came in, we had a bottom just a little while ago, and you see we're having a rally right now. And if this market is really, really bearish, the S&P is not going to exceed 54.25. So that's what you're looking at. Now, you notice that the reason why I'm bringing this up is you'll notice it late or midday, right around 11:30, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I guess is what it is. Let me double check it just to be safe, because I'm guessing, and I don't like to guess when I'm on the air. I guess all the other times, but not on the air. Let's just get this up here. I think it's around right around 1 o'clock. As you can see, there is a major trend change potential. Now that just means it's going to go up. It doesn't tell you it's going to go all the way up to 44.65. It might do that, but that would be an accident. It just means it should start going up at 1 o'clock. Now, folks, at 1:30, a half hour later, if that thing isn't going up, it's going down for the rest of the day, because that means that vibration that is there has changed, and it means it's going to go down into the next vibration. The way this was found is, I mentioned this MIPS machine that we used to have, which MIPPS, multiple integers per second, and we ran that thing. We destroyed it. We had 2 of them. Actually, first one lasted about a year. The second one lasted about 2 years. It ran basically 27 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days. So just staying up night's not good, folks. Making a couple bucks, but I'll tell you, it's a little hairy. Anyway, let's remember that this thing is based on time only, okay? And what it found is it found that there were certain things that were there. Now, it would find time vibrations just like it found price vibrations. So when you have a change in trend at like that 45.25 in the S&P, which is nothing more than a 382 retracement of that whole range down from 44.65 down to 03. All that is a 38% retracement. Now, if that lines up good with what's happening in the stock market, making a top around that time, which would occur, in about a half an hour, that would tell you that, it's working all right. So you can sell it there, and then you put your stop in and then see if it starts to work. That's all you can do. Hold on a minute. Have to have another shot at tequila. Salute, Jimmy Buffett. Folks, if I ever had 2 ounces of tequila, I wouldn't be on the show for 3 weeks. I don't drink any hard liquor at all. I drink wine, and I've never had a beer in my whole life. Not even a sip. I don't like the stuff for a lot of different reasons. Okay, let's move on here to a couple of other things that I mentioned for us here to look at, and that is the Treasury notes and Treasury bonds, folks. We've talked about those. We're very close to what we think is going to be a pretty good rally. Now, dollar-wise, it might not be very much because it's so very, very bearish. The problem is that every time we've had one of these in the past, that they've been very, very powerful. So if I get this last one up here, and I'll bring it right up so we'll be able to see it without too much trouble. We're going to start out with the notes, and we've done this before. We're going to do it again. Just keep drowning it in you with the OABCDs till you finally believe that it's AB equals CD, as old Mark Douglas said. Now, we didn't quite get down there yet to that 125.04 level. We got down to 125.11. We've had a tiny bit of a bounce, but this should be a completion of an ABCD pattern, and it's got a lot of things going for it. The distance between the AB and the CD is perfect, and the time sequence brings it in to right around the middle to the end of February, and that will be a very interesting spot to take a look at this. But the price level, of course, is a little lower down there at 125.04. Same thing in the Treasury bonds. They should have gone just a tiny bit below 150. We got down to 150 and change. They've had a little bit of a bounce, but we want to wait for something better on that. So those are the main ones that we're looking at. So if you have any questions, 877-927-6648. Norm Winsky will be our guest here when the break comes. That'll be at the half hour. And remember, he does a lot of stuff related to astrology, which I firmly believe is going to be, in the news one of these days. That's on my bucket list. Number one is to see, a whole segment on Bloomberg or CNBC coming from places like Yale, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and Indiana State University, of course, in Terre Haute, Indiana, where Mr. Winsky and I attended. I attended there for a few years before I went on to Indiana University, and I also did some work there at Purdue University, and I took a couple of classes at Northwestern on my MBA. Okay, now let's move on here to a couple other ones that I wanted to mention to you. The main one is that gold, folks, because that is a big, big pattern. I only showed you the hourly chart on this, but if we take a look at the long-term gold chart, let's get this one up here. I believe we have it in here, somewhere in here. Well, by golly, you know what? I put it in a different one. So let's do silver first, because silver is lagging so badly here. Here's the silver market. This is a daily chart on the silver, and I know it's up a little today, but in fact, I don't even know what the high on silver was. Could someone tell me if silver hit 24.16 today? I'd like to know that, because that's the 78% level. I don't know if it's strong enough to do that. I don't follow it too much, but would somebody that watches these markets really close tell me whether we got to 24.16, 23.875? Wow, we can't even make it to that other number. That was the high? 23875 was all it did? shut the front door and raise the rent. Boy, that's not a very powerful one. I believe we're looking at a major high here in gold today, folks. It's acting like it is, given all the news and all the stuff, and they're following the news, by a heartbeat. But the gold, the crude oil's not doing that. And crude oil is a much, much larger market than the gold, folks. Everybody uses crude, but not everybody uses gold. So there's a big difference there to remember that. So keeping an eye on that gold up here at that 1900. We've been to 1900 even. We're only a couple bucks away from that now. I'm thinking we get to 20 or 1902, 1903. If we get above 1915, wow, we could go a lot higher than that. But that should be the area where it should be stopping. So that's what we're watching here with that. We have a special treat coming up here in 4 minutes. We've got Mr. Norman Winsky coming up, and he has some good stuff. Hopefully you'll have some questions for him. 877-927-6648. And we'll be back with you after we have this break that is coming up in just a few minutes. And that is what we're waiting for, is the music to bring in the break, because... And here it is. We'll be right back, boys and girls.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, boys and girls, I believe we have Norm Winsky on the line. Norm, are you there?
Yes, sir, Larry. Thanks
We
for
have
having
a
me on.
note. We have something for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Norman. Happy birthday to you. I learned that from Willie Nelson.
Thank you very much.
Why don't you? Thank you very much. Okay, why don't you take over, and Elvis will leave the building. Go ahead, my friend. You've got the podium.
You caught my Elvis. Good. All right, we're gonna. I was last on your show on January 27th. Sorry for all the craziness the past week with my internet being out for 5 days. So we're finally have arrived here. I was last on your show on January 27th, and I gave some forecasting points for the different, based on the planets and the different markets, and we're going to go over those briefly and see how it all came out. So on the weekend of the 28th, 27th, I believe was a Thursday, AC, it means after the close, most of the planets, the planets are 24/7. They don't go home at 5 o'clock. So most of this stuff based on random distribution, most of the time they're doing stuff overnight not during the regular day session trading. So most of these things are after the close. So the weekend of the 28th, we had Venus in the sign of Capricorn turning direct. If you want to know more about any of these technical terms, give me a call. You can get these, I'll send you these notes for free, and you can get a free Skype class with me, and it's all free with a money back guarantee. And if you mention Larry, it'll be double your money back guarantee for free, okay?
You can't beat that, Norm.
Okay, so we're going to go over these quickly now. Venus and Capricorn turned direct over the weekend there, and that's Venus markets are cattle, copper, cotton, sugar, and wheat. And it was in Capricorn, so we throw in coffee too. And then we have the U.S. chart. That's based on the country being founded on July 4th, 1776. That date was picked, trying to make it brief here. That date was in part picked by astrologer Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers. He made a fortune on a book called Poor Richard's Almanac, which was all astrological information on when to plant your crops, and so forth. Plant your deal. Anyway, so they have Jupiter to the U.S. chart. We take a snapshot of the planets at the moment that we believe that something began or was born, and then we look at the planets now and see if there's any harmonic relationship. So Jupiter is to the U.S. chart. Anytime we have the U.S. chart, U.S. stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. Then we had a new moon in the sign of Aquarius. We're at the opposite point as of yesterday. We had the full moon in the sign of Leo, and we'll be getting to that in just a few minutes. So new moon in Aquarius. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we round up the usual suspects, financial grains, precious metals, and because it was in Aquarius, we also run a special on copper because of the Aquarius. Then we had the night of the 3rd. We have Mercury in Capricorn turning direct, and Mercury and the moon are the leading main indicators for short term for the grains, and also because it was in Capricorn, we're throwing in coffee. And there you go. So you got corn, beans, wheat, and coffee. And then the afternoon of the 4th, we have Saturn to the U.S. chart. So again, that's U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. So there we go. So we have, here we had 2 points for the corn. Well, first one was the new moon. Right there, we had a little short-term low there, not a big deal. And we went down, and now we're at the low of the month there. We're right after the low of the month. It's all about Newton's law. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. If the market moves up into our window, we're looking to sell. If the market moves down into our window, we look to buy. And if it goes sideways, we do nothing, because the opposite of sideways is more sideways. So there we go. So it kind of had a little pullback there. You bought, you had a chance to make a little bit of money. It went down into the low of the month, and then you had a chance to make a lot more money. That's how it works. Here's beans. Beans, we had a miss there. A red arrow is a miss. Green arrow is good. Red arrow bad. So that kept going higher. That's not good. And we had a miss on beans. And then it went sideways. So the second point was a no-go. All right, here's wheat. We did really well on the wheat. We had a nice top there. You had a little short-term bottom there. And then again, we hit near the low of the month. Here's cattle. We had a miss on cattle. Cattle just kept stampeding higher. And so that was a miss. Cotton, we did really well on that, right on the high of the month on cotton. Here's coffee going sideways. And then we had a nice short-term high there for the coffee on the night of the 3rd with Mercury in Capricorn turning direct. Here's sugar, rallied into that window there, and that was a nice short-term top there in sugar. And here's copper, right on that's on the low of the month. And then we had silver, a little short-term high there on the silver. And then gold was going sideways, so we do nothing. And then here's the S&P. We had 2 points here on the over the weekend. Over the weekend, the 28th. That went a little bit higher, so that's a miss. And then the next day, we were within 1 day of the high of the month, I believe, and that was so that was good. And it didn't go a lot higher from there. And then we had a little the 3rd and the 4th over that weekend. We were on the ACs. We're looking to trade on the next day's opening, and then we had one in the afternoon on the 4th, and so we had a little low in the morning and then a high in the afternoon. So you had a chance to make some money there. Bonds were going sideways early into January there. And then we had a miss, so that's not so good. And then here we had dollar. We hit 2 out of 3. We were right near the highs of the month on the dollar. And then we had a miss there. And then we were right near the lows of the month. So if you add up the green arrows and red arrows, 15 winners, 6 misses out of 21 for 71.43%. Here's why I asked Larry to come on the show now. Starting yesterday, sorry I couldn't make it on yesterday. We had at noon, we had a full moon at noon. And that's, by the way, Larry was just talking about gold. The full moon was in the sign of Leo, which is gold. And Larry says we might be looking at an important top here on gold. And so there you go. And as I've said many times, the moon, new moon, full moon, often brings a change in trend to your financial range, precious metals. And because it was in Leo, that's your corn, gold, and OJ.
Hey, Norm, can I interrupt you for a second? You said that gold is in Leo?
Yeah, gold is ruled by the sign of Leo.
Oh, but we're not in Leo, though. We're in Capricorn, right? No, we're past Capricorn now. We're out into, what, Pisces?
We're probably in Virgo. The moon is probably in Virgo today.
Okay, just curious. Okay.
Yeah, the moon moves through a sign in about 2.5 days. It was in the end, toward the end of Leo for the full moon yesterday. And so in a few hours later, it probably went into Virgo.
That's a big 10-4. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, my friend.
No problem. So there we go. After the close of last night, 16th, that's this morning, you had Mercury at maximum elongation. That's a Mercury cycle, extreme in the Mercury cycle. And that's your greens, corn, soybeans, wheat. What's that again?
Got to pay a few bills now. The music has started. Stay with us with Norm Winski, Astro Trends, out of Naples, Florida. We'll be right back, boys and girls.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're chatting with Norm Winsky of AstroTrends. Norm, would you like to continue, please?
Okay, we jumped off with the Mercury maximum elongation. Mercury is the grains, by the way. All these events could affect the stock market. So, as it says there, I don't bother writing the stock market every time because it's just kind of assumed, How do you increase your chances for a winning trade? We want to see the markets at an extreme, up or down. The bigger the extreme, the better. Sideways is not good. Do not trade sideways. Okay, so anyway, with last night we had Mercury as corn, soybeans, wheat, and then all these things all for the stock market too. And then we have tonight, Saturn's going to line up with the U.S. moon. That's U.S. stocks, T-bonds, dollar. And then we also have Jupiter making a 60-degree angle to Uranus, and that's a harmonic of the 41-month business cycle. And also, because it's the Jupiter's in Pisces and Uranus is in Taurus, we have cattle, copper, cotton, and oil. And then we have and also tonight we have another big Mercury cycle. The Mercury at 0 latitude is a huge deal, and that's going to be tonight. And then we have corn, oats, soybeans, wheat, and then we have Neptune lining up with the U.S. Neptune. And Neptune, by the way, is oil, and everybody is not too happy about paying these higher oil prices. And that, I think that's being influenced possibly by that. Again, we have U.S. stock, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And here's the big kahuna. Pluto, over the weekend, is going to line up with where Pluto was on July the 4th, 1776. Hasn't been there in this neighborhood for about 248 years.
Wow.
And so this is a huge deal. This has long, not just that day, for trading. We'll be looking at it for about a day or two, but bigger picture, this could have major long-term ramifications for the course of the USA, So anyway, we have U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. If you don't know, by the way, you might want to take a screenshot of these. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And I'll count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A better method is contact me. I'll send you these notes for free, and we'll set up a little mini class for free, and we can talk on Skype, and I'll put up all the pictures and so forth, on Skype. All right, if you don't know me, I've been doing this a long time, not as long as Larry, but still pretty long time. Back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, Larry, right out of Indiana State University there in Terre Haute. I went to Chicago, and I had an opportunity to buy a membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange and be there in the early days there in 1975 and help pioneer option trading. And then because we were right there in the Board of Trade building, also did a little stint on the Chicago Board of Trade. So anyway, that was a long time ago, back in the 70s, and I was there for 12 years, survived 12 years, and I love to learn, and so I've studied all these different things, Gann, Elliott, astrophysics, astrology, music, you name it, and I probably looked at it. All righty, so what's that again, Larry?
We're blessed to be able to do what we do and enjoy it as much, Norm, really.
People ask me, oh, you live in Florida. Are you retired? I said, no, I don't want to retire. I said, maybe I'll retire after I die. If you love what you do, why would you want to retire, right?
Yeah, my grandpa used to tell me retirement is a grave that's open on both ends.
There you go.
And I think he's right about that. It does. We meet so many nice people and stuff, too. So
I would go crazy if I had nothing to do. All right, here's how to get a hold of me. I'm in beautiful, sunny Florida here in Naples. You can call me. I'm accessible. You don't get a robot. You won't get an assistant. I'm it. 239-594-3939. You can email me at nwinsky at embarqmail.com, or you can call me on Skype at NWINSKI_1. So looking forward to helping some of your folks, Larry.
Norm,
everybody have a great trading week here and a great weekend.
Thank you very much, Norm. I appreciate you being on the air.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, boys and girls, we just hit something exciting. I posted a chart of the gold earlier today to get up to that 1902 level, and we just hit it, and we've broken $3, $4, $5 from that level. I don't know if it means anything or not, but it sure hit that level and backed off a little bit. Whether it's a big deal or not, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But they came very, very right up into that zone that we were looking at. And it may or may not mean anything, but the main thing is the fact that it's right at that 1.618 expansion level. So that's something that we really believe in when we do these Fibonacci numbers. I think I posted it, but let's just get it up here again to see what we were looking at. Hold on, we were getting it right up here, and you'll see here. There's what we were looking at. The actual number was 109.03, and that was the 1.6, and we hit 1902.30, I believe was the high. I didn't quite get it because it was happening when Norm was on, and I wasn't able to catch the prices up because I can only look at one thing at a time here. And I think the high was 102.02. So that's interesting to see whether that's going to be a interesting one to pay attention to today. Keep an eye, folks, on this number in the S&P at 44.25. That's a very, very important number that you want to pay very close attention to. And we'll be doing a live workshop. I'm hoping to be able to do it on March the 19th. I'm going to be going to London for a couple weeks to visit some friends, trading buddies, and I'm also going to do a 3-day seminar with Tom Hugard there in London in the Burberry area with David Paul and Al Brooks, and David Paul, Al Brooks, Tom Hugard, and Steve Ward. Steve Ward's a psychology guy who's a friend of Mark Douglas. It's very, very good. It's a full session. And on the Friday, we're going to do live trading there. And something is beeping, so bear with me. I want to find out what it is. And I believe we're getting right up here near the old level here of the old, hold on a second here. What is beeping here? It is the E-mini. Almost got to the number there at 25, folks. Very, very interesting. So pay close attention to that. Very, very important to pay close attention to that one. Okay, now, as we move through the venue here, let's see. Well, look at this gold. It's already broken $6, $7, $8 from the high. Well, $5 from the high. So whether that means very much or not, we have to remain to be seen. But we did get up into that area. So it's important to, watch that as we go through here. Hold on here. Something is still beeping. I have to find out what it is. And it is that E-mini. It's almost there, folks. We've almost got there to the old 420. Now, if we get through that level, that means that we could have reversal today, but this is the spot where it should stop. That's the main thing that you want to keep an eye on, because it's a very, very important number. We watch those, very, very closely. So I think it's important. We got the break coming up here. When we get back, we're going to take a quick look at the long-term picture in the gold, just to see where we are here, because it is a pretty important number, and we don't want it to get too far out of line here, because if it gets anything above that 1905, 1908 level, that means you could go a whole lot higher, and maybe the war is over. Who knows? Crude oil's still down, but not trying to bounce back. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927.
Your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, I'm unable to pull that gold chart up. You saw the daily or the hourly chart that I was looking at. That's just an hourly chart. Hell, that might not work for 10 minutes. You don't know. But anyway, keep a close eye on some of these markets. We did hit that number at 40. We came within a half a point of the number in the S&P. We made it in the E-mini Dow Jones, but we missed it in the NASDAQ by a lot, and because that is very bearish in the NASDAQ. So let's keep watching as we go through watching some of these things here today. It's a very interesting day, to say the least, because of the things that are going on in Ukraine. We've heard rumors that the Russians are in there fighting, but they're fighting in regular civilian clothes. They're not wearing uniforms, and that's where the confusion, because they all speak German. God, they all speak Russian. I better have another whiff of tequila here, otherwise I'll get these things screwed up more. By the way, that was not Willie Nelson that was singing for Norm, folks. That was someone else. That was me. Anyway, I can't sing, but Norman's been a friend for a very, very long time. I have to tell you a story about Norman. We had a book that was really important called The Book of Columbus, written by George Baer. And that book was very rare, and they wanted $25,000 a copy for it. And Norm had a copy. And before long, it got on the internet, and it was available for basically nothing. I still have that book anywhere, but I don't know what it is. It just basically shows the Fibonacci relationships related to the zodiac stuff, which you can't use it for trading. It's just an interesting thing. And don't ask me to send it because I don't want to search for it and find it, because it's not that important to send it out. Now, tomorrow is Friday, boys and girls, and believe it or not, it's one of those days where I have to take the neighbors to the doctor. Sarah and I have two elderly neighbors here in their 90s, and tomorrow is doctor day, so we have to take him to the doctor. I have no choice, but I won't be able to be on the show tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday. We've got a full cast of characters coming in next Monday, and I'm sure we're going to have some really great moves on some of these things. So let's remember that, live every day in an attitude of gratitude. I'll see you folks on Monday morning, and may God bless.